Alright, here's our next step for our mask. Right now we have our two-dimensional base form, and we are going to make it just by folding and taping. We're going to make it three-dimensional. First step, you have tape. You might be sharing tape at your table. Get a nice long piece of tape, break it off, and then just grab little sections of tape and stick them to the edge of your table. That way you can pass the tape along to your table mate, and they can grab a bunch of pieces too. Okay. Now we are going to overlap this eye cut just a little bit. You could hold your mask to the side and see how much curve you want this to give your mask. I just want a little bit of curve, so I'm going to overlap it about this much, about 1/2 inch, and then you want to line that cut edge with tape. And do the same thing on the other side. I like to tape both sides just to make sure it's super secure. Okay, so now we have a little curve to our mask. Our next step is to give the top of the mask a little curve. We're going to have to overlap these tabs and tape them. So if you tape them with a big overlap like this, you are going to end up with a very curved and narrow mask. You might want that. I don't, so I'm just going to do a little bit, just a little overlap, and tape it. So, one at a time. You're going to overlap and tape. Overlap and tape. You're going to do the same thing on the very bottom of your mask too. I'm going to pause this. Alright, so here is my finished taped top and bottom of my mask. And as you can see, if I were to do a more extreme overlap, I would have had more extreme of a curve. But since I did a gradual overlap, it's a very subtle curve. And also, since there's so many tabs here, it's a very even curve. Whereas there's one cut here, that makes a very sharp edge. You're going to want to keep that in mind when you're building your three-dimensional features to add on to your mask. So there is one more optional step where you can add another curve to the mask by cutting in a dart. So you can cut in about here and overlap and tape, and it'll just add a little bit more curve to your mask. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So if you want to do that, say you have like a round mask or maybe some cheeks on your mask that you want to add in right now. This will kind of give the illusion of the full, like a full cheek. So then you're just going to overlap and tape, depending on how extreme of a fold or extreme of a curve you want. Okay? Alright, there is my finished mask base form.